Ahoy, fellow death cultists.
And welcome aboard the Joy of Trek, reboot podcast exploring the burials and gold trim of Star Trek, all of it. I'm Cocky.
I'm Kay.
And making a Starfleet Delta visible from space is your Chief Engineer Greg.
Together, we're on a mission through the spacewalks of Star Trek to find the mutiny in every first officer and the excellence in every episode.
Even the redesigned Klingons. Hey, especially the redesigned Klingons.
Because every episode must be someone's favorite, and it might as well be ours.
So say hello with missiles and join us as we instigate a war in
The Joy of Trek.
Finally. Oh, can you guess at home which episode we're discussing today?
That is right. We're doing Discovery Season 1, Episode 1, The Vulcan Hello.
First aired September 24th, 2017. Story by Brian Fuller and Alex Kurtzman. Teleplay by Akiva Goldsman and Brian Fuller, and directed by David Semmel. Although originally Brian Fuller had campaigned for someone like Edgar Wright, whom you know from the Cornetto trilogy films.
Oh, wow, that would have gone very differently, I think.
Yep. Alas. Oh, wow. Yeah, this... I was so excited when I heard that we were doing this. Did you notice?
Definitely were. No, yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So
Sorry, I thought you were going to say you were so excited when it was first noted that it was going to be coming out.
Oh, absolutely. Like, even though there had been films in the meantime,
right?
Like, there hadn't been television Star Trek since, like, 2004, 5 thereabouts.
So that after Enterprise, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see. How big was the gap between Star Treks? Oh, no, it wasn't quite as large as between...
14 years, I guess, then? It was way before 2018. This was 2000... When did we...
2017.
17, okay, so it was close.
Yeah, so it's about a 12, 13-year difference, which may be greater than, like, the end of the animated series and the start of The Next Generation.
Ooh,
Quite a drought.
It'll be tight, yeah.
And, like, the Kelvin-verse films, as they're known, the J.J. Abrams and later Justin Lin films, are in their own, like, separate timeline.
Right, they're canonical Star Trek, but not, like, a main timeline's canonical Star Trek.
So, like, I had not been as excited. I don't think I've ever been more excited for a Star Trek thing to come out than I was for the start of Discovery, and I was absolutely elated.
So, yeah, let's see. There were other people who were excited about it.
Oh, good.
Let's see. At Vox, Emily van der Werf also gave a very positive review, feeling that the episode had all the strengths and flaws of classic Treks, and praising Burnham as the protagonist.
Hell yeah.
Martin Barrows of Forbes felt that the show was not bad, but it's off to a strange start. It has every chance from here to become something great, possibly even awards-worthy. Did they get any awards?
Tons,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's won a lot. It's won Saturn Awards, it's won Empire Awards, it's won GLAAD Awards, it's won Primetime Creative Emmy Awards, it's won awards for its makeup. Doug Jones has won multiple awards, Sneaka Martin Green won multiple awards, Directors Guild of Canada won awards. And then that's only what it's won. It's been nominated for a ton of stuff. Like, the accolades page on Wikipedia is quite extensive, frankly.
Thanks.
GameSpot ranked it as the #1 best pilot episode of Star Trek series to date.
Hell yes.
They're impressed with character design of Burnham and, of course, having a show where the main character is not the captain, which is an interesting take as well, yes. I think it was kind of taught to that as well, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, that it had a protagonist structure, because television has changed since the 1990s. I also looked up, this was the first episode of Star Trek since Journey to Babel, like or Turnabout Intruder, the last episode of the original series, that didn't have Rick Berman involved in some kind. Or maybe it was the animated series.
Did they
I don't know.
shut him out, or was he dead at the point? No, wait.
No, it just moved on without him. Like, he was a fixture from the early days of The Next Generation.
So they probably wanted to, like, break with tradition and...
Yeah. Actually, like, there had been a few attempts to sort of restart or reboot Star Trek. Famously, in the 70s, there was Star Trek Phase 2 under Gene Roddenberry, which eventually got retooled into the motion picture. But there was also, oh, wow, you got to read this sometime. J. Michael Straczynski of Babylon 5 fame wrote a spec sort of story bible for a reboot of the original series. This is like in 2005, 2006, so after Enterprise had finished. And, like, he was kind of doing a Battlestar Galactica. You know, we can gender swap some of the roles.
Sure.
So maybe you could have, like, a female Scotty or something. And because it's J. Michael Straczynski, there would be this plot with a secret million-year-old species that people slowly discover.
And it would get cancelled after 2 seasons, and then
and then sort of limp on and continue
And then
brilliantly.
and they'd lose the footage in a warehouse fire, and then
Okay, yeah.
and several of the actors playing the main characters would come to an unfortunate demise.
Yeah, okay, there are various curses associated with... I don't know if those are J. Michael Straczynski or Babylon 5, but I think it's more Babylon 5. It's not like Terry Gilliam. If Terry Gilliam ever phones you up and asks if you want to be his film, just say no.
It's an odd or an even movie.
Anyway, there was someone else who I suppose was excited about this.
Yes, do tell us about that.
Because this was recommended by, and I always sort of preserve this for myself, so the Vulcan Hello was recommended by Advik Goel, who said, this episode was actually my entry point into the Star Trek franchise.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Outside of the first Kelvin-verse movies, right, of course. Yeah, okay, but they're their own thing, right?
Sure.
This is Star Trek proper, the original canon.
They're just Star Trek themed science fiction.
Well, whoa, hold on. Advik, just a second. I think I need to clear up something with my co-host. What are you channeling here?
I don't know.
Okay, you're just poking.
Yeah.
You're just poking
Oh, of
me.
course, yes.
It's like I'm a little cat trying to take a nap and you keep belly rubbing. Okay. Whew, back onto it. So it holds a place in my heart, even if Discovery as a whole doesn't relative to other series anymore. All right, interesting perspective there. Beyond that, I think the debate over the Vulcan Hello and its merits has always fascinated me. Yeah. The show lays out as a debate between the Federation's principles of not being the people to fire first shot in a potential conflict and a signal which will ensure the Klingons respect and prevent a war. I think there is something delightfully contradictory about Vulcan and Klingon cultural norms and signals being seen as oppositional to the Federation's doctrine, despite the Vulcans being core members of the Federation. That is fascinating.
I've got some thoughts on that, but yeah.
Awesome. While Burnham's mutiny is clearly the wrong way to win an argument, I have to question why the characters meant to represent a more typical Federation viewpoint, like Georgiou, are unfamiliar or unwilling to entertain the merit of something like a Vulcan Hello. At least based on what the show reveals, T'Kuvma would have been badly undermined if a Vulcan Hello was delivered, rather than the perceived disrespect of diplomatic and treaty. Ooh, that's fascinating. Ooh. Do we have any warp cores? Because I want to jump into this episode.
Real
quick, yep.
Sheesh, I've got quite...
Thank you, Advik Goel. You've got warp cores for this?
Well, I can...
You could do the sound effect.
I say we eject the warp core!
Let us have a look. See, well, it's mainly plasma vents, you know? It's like the whole business with Burnham going out in her AV suit and going like, oh, yes, there's a 20-minute limit, because we all know that the DNA is sitting there, like, looking at its watch, like, oh, we're being bombarded with, deadly cosmic radiation. Let's wait for exactly 20 minutes before we start breaking down.
You know that's how device ratings work. Like, these machines are rated to, like, guarantee patient survival if there's less than this much exposure, and, like, in this environment, you get that many sieverts after 20 minutes. Okay, next.
I've got something. That's not a warp core. I'm going to save that for my
your deleted scene.
My deleted scene.
Oh,
so
dear.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that at all. Ooh.
Oh, and let's see other things. Let me see. Quick look at my notes. No, that's just a bit of conclusion jumping. Logical. I can't remember why I wrote that down, but I'm sure we will get to it.
Now I'm really curious what it says.
We'll get to there.
Everybody's scheming. Like, in the preparation for this episode, Chief Greg said that he was scheming, and he made the sort of like the emoji for a scheming cat face. I have warp core to dump. It's not related to anything from the episode.
Yeah,
but Discovery and like it elicited quite a substantial response from a portion of the Star Trek fandom.
Let me guess, too many female protagonists.
It was woke, and it wasn't Star Trek, and all of that sort of combined, like, not to yuck any yums, and anybody who dislikes, like, Discovery for whatever reason is entirely entitled to do so, but there was a lot of vitriol, much like The Last Jedi experienced in Star Wars. And some of it was definitely racist, misogynist, and entitled.
Big surprise.
Certainly not all of it, but there was a lot going on. There was a lot of doomsaying about, oh, this is not Star Trek. And
this is the end of Star Trek as we know it. Well, that's kind of the point.
Yeah, and...
I mean, didn't they double down on that later on?
I mean, sort of. Like, I like to joke that with the addition of, like, Adira, a non-binary character later in Discovery, her boyfriend Gray, who is portrayed by a trans actor and is also a trans character, and they were all, like, these weren't one-off additions to the crew. Like, they were multi-year contracts.
And the doctor and
his husband, the engineer.
That's
yeah.
one, yeah.
Which I think canonically is the longest lasting committed relationship in Star Trek, considering that they traveled 900 years into the future.
Oh, that's cheating.
So but still, like, not a lot of people get to celebrate their 950th wedding anniversary.
A very good point. Even if one of them died in the meantime.
Yeah, only for a little bit.
Yeah.
Who doesn't die sometimes? They're bridge crew.
True. And they always come back. And, like, it might be through different means as we...
Yeah. He saw the Black... Oh, you know about the Black Mountain, right?
Thank you to Lower Decks for that one.
So, yeah, I wanted to get that out of the way. And, like, I just hold no truck with this. It delighted me from the start.
It's kind of the opposite of a warp core, really.
I just wanted to, like, acknowledge that it exists, right?
Oh, true.
This was the time. Toxic fandom was becoming a thing. Like 2017, there was also when The Last Jedi came out, and there was review bombing, and
all those people reviewing it who haven't even seen it yet. But yes, I get. All right, so let's get on with it.
Yes. So in the original airing, there were hard-coded subtitles with beautiful fonts.
Yeah.
And so it starts off with this Klingon text that says they are coming.
Yeah.
And then the Klingon letters transformed into English letters. But because we're watching don't worry about it, totally legal streaming service, which has separate subtitles, like those were removed so that the...
that's a shame. Yeah.
Yeah, but also so you could, like, watch it in French subtitles or German subtitles without having to overlay them over the hard-coded English ones.
Okay, so let's go with a 15-minute discussion on the first line. They are coming.
Oh.
Okay.
What's the discussion? I'm fascinated. No,
right,
you take the lead.
I assume that, like, this, considering how the whole thing line ends up, is they are talking about the Federation.
Yes.
So they are considering the fact that the Federation is coming for the Klingon Empire.
Yes.
Probably based on nothing but their own paranoia.
So, Kuvma...
He wants to bring the big houses. He wants to bring the houses back together.
Yes, he has very strong beliefs in he's a prophetic figure. He's a messianic figure. That's how he sets himself up.
And like a very good messianic figure, he has already assured that his prediction will come true by destroying a Federation relay satellite.
Yes,
it's
correct.
Bait.
Yeah.
And he's not even done it in a clever way. He's done it in a stupid way by destroying it with probably whatever phasers or thing they have. When in fact there's like, it could have been an asteroid. Yes, it could have been an asteroid, which they could have thrown at it with a transporter, with a tractor beam, and then it would have looked like a real asteroid. So they're not doing it just to destroy the relay satellite so they can do their little thing there in the accretion disk. They're intentionally doing it to lure the Federation.
Yes.
So, like I said, like a good prophet, he's made sure that his own prophecies are going to come true, whether or not they're real or not.
Yeah. Okay. So we agree. He's a good prophet.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough.
No, but like, he's set up as this antagonist. You're absolutely right. But like, he has this cult. So he's holding a speech on this. It's called the sarcophagus ship. Which is an absolutely beautiful set. Like this set cost a fortune. I
can well imagine.
The kind of thing that they could do in the early streaming era, where they knew, okay, we're going to have this show. We can just sink $3 million into our set and get some use out of it.
We're going to be able to use it for about 3 or 4 episodes, and that's
Yeah. This was a full season investment. God, I looked at so many set blueprints. This was filmed at Pinewood in Toronto. This is a weird episode because the Discovery that the show is named after does not appear.
No.
Nor any of the sets related to Discovery. Like, those were still being built in stage 1, which is like 50,000 square feet. Like, there's...
Okay.
It's massive. There is no soundstage as large in North America. So meanwhile, like, these could be completed first, and like while they were still working on the Discovery sets and other like uniforms and props, like these could already be filmed.
I'm assuming that the bridge set was retooled into Discoveries because it has very similar features.
Totally separate.
Okay, damn.
Yeah, well, let's get to that when we get to the Shenzhou. But yes, we're still here with a beautiful opening monologue.
There's so much.
There we go.
And we get our first new look at the new Klingons.
And it's amazing. You pull out of his eye, and the level of texture on the actor's skin and like the seamlessness of the makeup.
Yeah.
I have in front of me the Glenn Hedrick book that I know, Greg, you're super envious of. I will share it with you. It's absolutely amazing. They talked a lot about like setting up a production pipeline because the makeup and prosthetic house was based out of LA, but the filming was being done in Toronto. And they, like, sometimes they'd have, 80 background actors, and then suddenly you need like 50 makeup artists in order to be able to do those in parallel. But sometimes you only have 5.
Yeah.
So they figured out this process. Okay, we're going to have like the on contract like makeup artists all working out of a studio in Los Angeles, making these casts and prosthetics and actually painting them. Because normally what you do is you have a prosthetic, you apply it to the actor, and then you paint it.
Yeah.
But this time they had to make it so that it was ready to be glued on, and then you need essentially like gluers out in Toronto, which can scale. And just so much effort went into these designs because they made creative choices. Like, we're not going to put lights on the Klingons. We're going to let them be lit by environmental light and flame light. So the skin has to be more reflective.
Okay.
And they were also, of course, they were doing a fun thing with the character Volk, who's introduced, played by Shazad Latif, except no one was supposed to know that. Because Shazad Latif is later introduced as Ash Tyler, and they're the same actor, but we're not supposed to know.
Yes.
And so, like, this totally transformative makeup and a very voice-disguising way of speaking were all, like, in service of hiding that it was Shazad Latif under there.
I remember seeing these Klingons the first time and thinking, like, basically made a very clear decision in the arts department and appearances, like, we're not going to try to go for standard Klingons, as in, let's just call those next generation Klingons.
Yeah, that era.
And it started in the movies, of course, but
sort of like in the motion picture, they had like a ridge down the middle, like a really pronounced, like a cable running down their forehead, and then in later films, like they became more plates, like merged,
vertical for horizontal ridges. Yeah. And they went from a column-based architecture to a row-based architecture.
Okay, yes. A spreadsheet comedy. That's what we've been missing on this show. But they thought about, like, this is a multiplanetary culture, and so you'd get speciation, and in the same way that in the brilliant retconning in Star Trek Enterprise, that all the Klingons that you see in the original series just happen to be this particular cast that was produced by
maybe even a shock troops. Maybe even an outcast.
Yeah. I mean, you make that as a pun, but that's literally kind of what it means.
Right, yes.
Right? The pariahs. And in the same way, like, these are the followers of T'Kuvma, and they're not like it's a sect rather than a species, but most of them are from the same planet. So, like, they have these traits that can be totally unique. We may not have seen Klingons from these planets before.
I can't assume that, like, it's not as much a sect as this particular family. It's just one of the 24 families.
Oh yeah, I don't even know exactly how that works. If he's the leader of a capital H house, because there are minor houses.
It can be both. Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
interesting. But yeah, like, we just may not have seen with their elongated heads and their.
So yes, they are here to light the beacon this day and to assemble the people to lock arms against those whose fatal greeting is.
We come in peace.
Which is interesting, because, like, the Federation is like, I mean, they mean it. They're not here to make war.
Yeah.
But the Klingons see that from a slightly different perspective.
Yeah. Like it's not just we come in peace or you come in peace, and that is offensive to me. But, like, the Federation does have, like, assimilationist tendencies.
Embrace and extend.
Yeah. Like, we should all get along. Hey, but getting along is not a cultural value that has ever worked in my culture. Like, we thrive on conflict and domination. That actually works for us.
Right.
Yeah, but that's not really how we see things.
Like,
let's just hang out.
Yeah,
and
you can still be Klingons, and you can keep your culture, but let's just be a little bit nicer about it. And they see that as an anathema to their culture and a threat to it, even. So, which is how you could see "we come in peace" as them's fighting words. You're attacking our culture.
Sort of like coming to the Ferengi with, "Hey, post-scarcity and nothing has value anymore. How are you doing? Let's be friends."
Yeah.
Wait, what? So you're saying do you have less than I have? No. So you have more than I have? Also no.
Yes.
Wait, how much money do you have? Infinite, and also none.
Yeah.
What?
We have transporter credits, which apparently is a thing.
Okay, and how many of those do you get? Wait, write down numbers. This doesn't make any sense. It's like a tweet I saw, or a bleat, that's what they call them, Blue Sky, about like the guy who invented the clock, showing it to his friend. I've invented the clock. Now we can keep time over the day. Oh, that's cool. So there's 12 segments on here, I see. Yes, I made 12 segments on the clock. So the day is divided into 12 hours, I guess?
No, it's 24.
Oh, okay. Well, so it starts at 1. No, it starts at 12, which is at night.
Yeah.
Also, 6 means 30.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned. I don't know if I mentioned it in this particular podcast, but in the Bank series, the Culture series. At one point, there is a one-time concert which is being given, and it's described by one of the characters as it's the kind of thing they'd reinvent money for.
Yeah, because everyone wants to go.
Everyone, and there's only a limited amount of seats, and like everybody else can watch.
Actual scarcity is such a novelty.
Yes, that it's like their sexual favors are being treated like traded and sorts of things like that.
Yeah, but that's just an excuse. They'd be doing the sex anyway.
Well, yes, of course.
But now it's more fun.
Now it's got stakes.
Speaking of stakes, Starfleet continues its trend of sending its senior staff on dangerous missions. Because out in the deserts of Jordan, I think this was, in fact, the very first time that anything in Star Trek, like including films, was shot outside of North America.
Okay. I seem to recall we said something very similar in a recent episode.
Wasn't that a later episode?
Oh, good point. Yes. So it's either wasn't true then or it isn't true now. But
No. That was the opener of season 3.
Right.
That was the second time that then when they filmed in Iceland.
That was it.
Yeah, and this one was in Jordan. And here we have the command crew that we're supposed to carry out. We have Captain Philippa Georgiou, played by the amazing Michelle Yeoh.
Oh, yes.
Who is so wholesome and chipper. And so Michael Burnham.
Yes. Who are walking around the desert. They are on their way to a well, which has been disturbed by a comet or something, and it's now...
Oh, no, it's even a... Here.
The ambient radiation from a nearby meteor drilling accident dried out their water table.
Oh, meteor drilling.
Yeah.
I guess that, like, excuses why they're allowed to, like, break executive orders, standing order number 1, or whatever they call it in this time period.
Order 1. That's how it's called. Yeah,
They fucked it up, and now they've got to make it right again, because otherwise these creatures are not going to survive the 89-year-old...
89-year drought.
No, 89-year-old sandstorm, which is coming.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And this drought could last 60 years. Or
something like that, yeah.
And
if we can get in and out without making contact, we can steer clear of General Order 1.
Yeah,
exactly.
That'll be nice. Why did you walk through the valley where their egg sacs are?
Presumably because there's wibbly-wobbly, transporter don't work right, and they...
Yeah, but if you wanted to avoid contact, why did you walk through their children?
Yeah. I don't know.
Not entirely clear. They look like they're dressed for Burning Man.
I mean, yes, which is like desert wear, so that makes sense.
Very, very comfortable.
They, go and take a pot shot down the well with some very particular settings.
0.7-second fill burst at level setting 13.5.
So she shoots about a few very short, little well, but very well aimed, because that's a deep well.
There's got to be guidance on those bolts, right?
She doesn't hit the walls once. So.
No, and she comes from the side. She doesn't even like hold it away from her body, pointing down.
She just kind of casually pokes it over the edge and like shoots down into the well.
Cool phaser rifle.
Yeah.
The water comes bubbling up because
fountaining even.
That's how water works. Like
if there's enough pressure behind it.
Why would there be pressure?
Because it's sealed under a, how does she call it?
Tell me what I need to break through this bedrock.
Something needs to be broken up at the bottom of the well to get the water flowing again.
All right, but that means that somewhere else there's water at a higher elevation.
Right, yeah. Or, geological pressure. I mean, it could just be like some aquifer that needs to be breached.
I don't know how those work.
And probably in a various different amount of ways.
Well, okay. So there's water now anyway that's spilling out, and now this species has been saved.
Yes.
And, we see one of them, and it's really, really cool. I thought at first that this was a whole lot of CGI. They actually made, like, a mask for this crepuscular face. And then all the weird body movements, like, it sort of looks like the hood is on moves on its own.
It reminds me a lot of this Merciful Shadow, no? Those shadow people, they've got those segmented hoods.
Yeah, you're right.
It looks a lot like that.
There's a visual effect here that I really like, where the crepuscular has like a tentacle, right, and it looks kind of wet, like snail texture.
It's a tail, but
it might be that. But you see it like grabbing onto the edge, and there's an extra bit where there's a momentary extra grip as the creature pulls itself forward, and that really sort of sells the musculature. And this creature, or this crepuscan as they're called, is performed by Bonnie Morgan. She's a contortionist from a circus family, and her dad was one of the first Ferengi.
Was he a trapezoid?
Yes, he was a professional trapezoid. That's right. That's what we call them.
So, yes, the storm is faster than they thought, and the ship won't pick up their signatures.
Unless we can contact Lieutenant Saru, we could be trapped here until it's over.
So that would be an 89-year-old break in your career.
Well,
Let's take a walk.
and you have to...
Follow my footsteps, Michael. Even lines.
And this is where we are going to ignore a bunch of fans who go, but how could they see it from space when there's all sorts of clouds? And how it doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't be able to see footprints.
Plus, they know where the well is, presumably.
Oh, yeah, also that.
Plus, they probably detected the phaser blast on the surface. Little details.
And it's an opportunity to get some sort of connection and sort of establish these characters because...
I think it's time that we talked about you having your own command.
Oh, yes.
And Michael's kind of stopped in her tracks.
There's definitely establishing a bit of a mentor-mentee relationship between the two here.
Yeah, because she quips back, like, I'd be a lot more grateful for that if we weren't going to be stuck here for 9 years.
Like nice, one of those promotions so that my next of kin get a higher payout for because I was lost in action.
Yeah, that's very considerate. But there's also the question, okay, so when you're stuck here, Michael, what are you going to do? And, that's a great opportunity for me to share my Tinder bio.
As a xenoanthropologist, I could reveal myself to the natives, learn their culture, try to fit in, if possible.
That's more like LinkedIn, actually.
Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Although, would Michael have a Tinder profile? I don't
She
know
definitely have a
Tinder very
LinkedIn
well.
profile. I don't know, Tinder. She doesn't look like the kind who's looking for a quick shag.
All right, game time. Which of the characters on let's say on the Federation side in this episode, definitely have a Grindr profile?
Oh, Saru.
Saru was going to be my one as well. It's always the quiet ones, isn't it? Then he has a sort of a latex cactus outfit that he really enjoys. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I kind of love that idea. He'd be amazing at clubbing with those hooves.
Oh, totally.
Oh, and she asks the question back, and what will you do if you're trapped? And she says...
That's easy. I'd escape.
Yeah. And they find their footprints.
Yes.
Oh, no, you've walked us in a circle. No, not a
Look,
circle.
there are other people walking here. Let's follow them.
I remember like the second season of the Norwegian series Norseman, which was sort of a parody on Vikings, right? The TV show, except it's way more historically accurate despite being a comedy, which involves some slave characters, some Roman slaves who like escaped at the end of season 1, and we find them again in the forest in season 2. 6 months have passed, and they're still near the village, and it turns out like we've been following the sun for 6 months.
Yes. Funny that.
When you do that in Norway.
Oh, yes.
And the sun seems to break through the clouds, but no, it's this beautiful ship, the USS Shenzhou, Walker class. It's got underslung nacelles.
Ooh, yeah, Shenzhou. That's in China?
Sick.
Or is it a province?
I don't
One
know.
of the two. Chief, what's the Shenzhou named after?
So that's named after the Shenzhou spacecraft developed by the Chinese space program.
And apologies for any mispronunciation. Like it seems to me to read Shenzhou, but I know that that's not
Shenzhou,
how Chinese
I
languages
mean, it's
are.
pronounced several times in the episode, isn't it?
Especially when Michelle Yeoh says it.
Right. It's
It's more Shenzhou.
Shenzhou.
Like, like an S, like the H is breath. So it's an S with breath. And we go to the opening credits, which I adored. I remember the moment that I saw that. I'd just gotten into, what's it called? One of those cross trainers, one of the walking home exercise machines. And I decided that this was going to be my motivation. I was going to, if I wanted to watch Star Trek, I had to be on the machine, like getting some exercise. It worked very
good,
well.
Yeah.
I remember the screen going black and then coming back with this parchment texture.
Yeah.
And these lines appearing. Like it's not blueprints, but it's more like naval maps, maritime navigation.
Yes. It is in a way a little bit like the opening credits for Enterprise later. It also does a little bit of those visuals.
Yeah, you're right.
Although they're more generic Trek-like credits. And we get a shot of the Discovery, which is not the ship not appearing in this episode.
Very good. So not appearing in this film. Yeah, all this footage, all these images of a ship that does not occur. Because like these two episodes, let me see how it went. Like it originally, because it could have started with episode 3, which is Context for Kings, where we start off with Burnham basically in jail, being transported as a prisoner. And then she's caught up by the Discovery, a totally unknown ship to us. And that would have worked as a premiere episode. Not a pilot, because the show had already been picked up.
Right. Good point, yes.
And then we got these two as a prologue. I almost wonder if they were filmed later, or maybe because the Discovery sets were still being built, it was easier, and start with the Klingon ones and the Shenzhou
so
bridge.
They didn't repurpose the Shenzhou bridge and like expanded it to the Discovery bridge later?
No. And you'll see why that was sort of impossible, because like the Shenzhou bridge was suspended way above the ground because it's underslung.
Oh, yes. That's a very bold choice for a ship, but it can make sense for an explorer when you're going to be looking at planets and stuff. And
why don't more ships have an underslung bridge so you can look at the thing that you're orbiting around?
Usually it's a viewpoint, and I guess it's very vulnerable. I mean, the bolt-turret gunner on the B-17s wasn't exactly a position that you really wanted to be in.
This is probably true throughout history, like cannoneers in medieval warfare. Like that was the highest paid job because like the odds of returning from that job
pretty dangerous, even if if there's nobody shooting at you, even like shooting those old-fashioned cannons was probably, it came with a certain amount of risk.
Yep, and definitely everyone was shooting at the cannons.
Right, yeah. I'm not sure you can aim that accurately from one ship to the other, but yeah, even then.
We come back from these beautiful credits to learn...
First Officer's Log, Stardate 1207.3. On Earth, it's May 11th, 2256.
And many
Sunday.
fanboys rejoice because now we have a canonical reference to printing normal dates to star date.
Yep, which is still not going to help anyone because
you need
star dates...
You need 2 you need 2 canonical points, and then you can infer from that.
What was Stardate 0?
Ooh, good point. I mean,
0000.1.
Yeah.
Chief, can you look this up?
Is that the start of the Federation? That makes a sensible point, I guess.
Oh, wow.
That seems right. So, end of Enterprise, when Archer dedicates the Federation, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you're right, because he's still recording in Gregorian dates.
Yeah,
or
so
Julian.
that sounds like a good point to start Stardates.
Yeah, Kay, you'd think that'd be a good place to start Stardate. That's not what it was, because even in Enterprise, which predates the founding of the Federation, they have a reference to Stardate as 0141.7. Now, to be fair, that is in the mirror universe, but Stardates are being used in Enterprise, which predates that. Stardates are one of those things where every single person has a different interpretation of it. Everyone on production had a different interpretation of it. No one has ever agreed on this. It is... I'm gonna say it. I hate Stardates because it makes no sense. It's so convoluted. I've been reading the Memory Alpha page on this for the last hour, and I've just lost my mind because this thing makes no sense. Everyone disagrees with it. No one agrees. There's stuff about like the actual dates of the stars in a Julian calendar, and like we're calculating, and the stardate is literally just the date from where you currently are to the nearest star. That's one version of it. Roddenberry has a version where he was interviewed in the book Gene Roddenberry, The Myth and the Man Behind Star Trek, where he says one thing about like Einstein and relativity, and well, it depends on what sector of the universe you were in. But then in an interview for Stephen E. Whitfield's book, The Making of Star Trek, in 1968, he talks about how it's relative to the ships. So an hour on Enterprise could equal like 3 hours on Earth. So it's just like it none of it makes sense. Stardates don't make sense. It is the rule of cool. That is what Stardate is, and it works. Like, you just accept it because, like, oh yeah, Stardate. You're like, yeah, I'm sure that makes sense. But then when you try to read it into what it actually is, it makes no sense. None of it connects. It is insanity. No. This question made me lose my mind.
Anyway, they're already on the next mission. They're repairing a relay station.
Has a little hole in it. You can see the little worker bee craft through it.
Yep, and it's like blast burns around the hull are inconclusive. Were they caused by an asteroid, or was it deliberately destroyed? And yeah, it was deliberately destroyed, and it was deliberately destroyed in a way that it's obvious that it's been deliberately destroyed. Because if you want to destroy a satellite like that and fake an asteroid, you just take an asteroid, you chuck it at it with the tractor beam, and then it's an actual asteroid which went through it. And now, but now you left evidence that it was not.
Oh.
So it's the Klingons deliberately luring the Federation into this towards their ship.
Yeah,
They wanted them here.
Because definitely.
Yeah.
Like Takuma
yeah.
laid a trap, essentially.
Like a good prophet. If like you prophesize that something's going to happen, you make sure that it will.
Yep. Very, very successful. I'm glad we're in full agreement that Takuma is a genius in this regard. And we get this beautiful shot where the camera turns over several times. So we start off and it looks like the bridge of a starship, right, on top of the ditch. And then we realize, oh no, those engines were underslung. And we spin around and we see that we're actually looking up at Burnham, who's looking down through the view screen windows.
It's a fantastic shot.
And she says,
Despite the risks of our mission, I remain optimistic.
Yeah.
I don't like the look of that.
Which kind of summarizes Saru.
And we get this awesome banter.
Well, keep looking.
Well, the comment was figurative. I'm expressing concern.
Finish your scan so you can express facts instead.
Snippy.
There's sort of friendship there, but there's also like professional distance, and there's just a...
And the snippiness is at which we later learn is actually encouraged by the captain.
Oh, yeah.
Have a little bit of banter and sniping at each other. I guess it keeps you on your toes.
She goes and reports to the captain and says that your chief science officer is worried, and she replies,
Saru's Kelpian. He thinks everything's malicious.
Yeah.
very efficiently sort of setting up the species characterization of Saru.
I mean, Saru later specifically comments on it when he says, like, well, we are very dimorphic species. We are prey or predator.
Yeah, that's right. And to your point...
You think someone's trying to get our attention?
Well, if they are, they have.
Yeah. Oh, yes. So coming back out on the bridge, Giorgio says that, Saru, you suspect foul play.
Well, despite the first officer's constant need to dismiss my ideas.
She apparently agrees with you.
Really?
I'm shocked as well. Ensign Connor?
Agreement between my senior officers noted in the ship's log.
Yeah.
This amount of sarcasm always necessary?
Necessary, no. But I do like it.
Yeah.
There's something out there. What is it?
What do you have, Saru?
Recalibrating sensors.
A lot of that.
Recalibrating. No.
I have it.
Oh, nope. It's gone again. And it's gone again.
And Burnham sort of muscles over to his station, like, okay, let me show you how to do it. And Saru's...
Because he's trying to get more scanning regions, and she just like basically states the obvious, like range and bearing. To which Saru snips back. They're like, well, it's easy to read things off a monitor. I'm trying to get a... So is he a little bit like the blue guys who are like...
Oh,
only,
the Bolians.
Yes.
Oh, no. The Benzites.
Right, that's the one. Yeah, like, oh, well, you don't bother your captain with incomplete information. First you work out the full scenario. And
like that.
And get some alternatives, and then you report it.
I mean, given what we later learned about Saru's people... He doesn't really have a cultural precedent because they're a pre-warp civilization. They're agrarian, and like everything he knows about like military hierarchy or this kind of professionalism, he learned since.
Good point. And we also know
joining Starfleet.
And we also know that they kind of get cold before they reach maturity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's still quite young.
Yes.
In that regard. So. The problem is that whatever the object is, it's confounding their optical processors.
Yes.
So like. It refuses to be rendered, or it seems to even
interfere with them, like one of those QR codes you slap on a Tesla. And now the computer thinks it's a banana. But as they put it,
the scattering field it's emitting suggests intent.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're either hiding, and maybe they're hiding and they don't want to be found, or as the captain comments, like maybe they're hoping to be found anyway. Are they?
Yes, because they have a little peep show. Because, and you pointed out that it was Chekhov's shortest telescope.
Yes.
Which is a fun idea.
Yeah, we noticed that like in the first shot, like of the captain's quarters. Like, you notice she has a little telescope poking out the window. And I'm like, oh, that's nice and archaic. And yes, it turns out like less than 5 minutes later, it's already being used.
Yeah, because you can also just use that to look at things that apparently don't want to be rendered digitally, which how did that work? But apparently quite well.
Yeah, it does a good job at cloaking. So a little sidetrack here, if you will let me. There's like a few other things in the captain's quarters that I'd like to
What's your
comment on.
LFIC?
Well, there's a bottle of something the other, and it looks like a bottle of Luxardo, which is a kind of cherry drink.
Oh, that sounds tasty.
It is used in the only cocktail that I can think of at the moment is the Aviation,
of which I am an enormous fan.
It's very nice on a hot summer day. Nice and refreshing, a little bit tart. But anyway,
Hey, you're a little bit tart.
Oh well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Chief, is there anything in the lore that tells us what exactly kind of bottle it is that the captain has standing there in the background?
It had never occurred to me to use the chief for this. That's a level of research that, oh my God, I wonder if he's able to do that. I did see some set photos, like the books there behind her. They all have, the spines are all printed with the titles of like the original series episodes, like Amok Time and Journey to Babel.
That's funny.
In a very similar way of just making nods to other stuff, that bottle happens to be a bottle of Chateau Picard.
There's also a wayang puppet, or maybe the warung puppet. I always forget which one's which. It's which is an Indonesian art form.
So I think that either Michelle Yeoh or the character Philippa Georgiou is maybe Malay.
Okay, that one makes sense, yeah.
And so there's sort of cultural, the cultural barriers are porous.
Right, yes. There's a lot of Chinese a lot of Chinese people living in Indonesia, of course, yeah.
Also that. Ancestors of mine, some of them.
Yes.
So yeah, I noticed that as well. Like it's a for those of you who aren't familiar with, wayang is the Dutch name or the Indonesian name for a type of shadow puppet.
There's two kinds. There's the shadow puppets, which are only two-dimensional, and they're used for shadow plays.
Oh yeah, those are the ones I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of.
that's why I think it's one is called wayang and the other one's warung, I think. And this is one of the full puppets. They're dressed up. They're fully dressed up, and they're actually 3D puppets. They have full heads and everything.
Ah, yes, okay. The shadow puppets are that I know are all black and lacquered.
Yeah, because they're used for shadow plays.
Behind a screen.
Very similar, of course, in puppet style form, but yeah. One of them does different ones, more like Punch and Judy. Indonesian Punch and Judy.
Oh, dear.
That sounds like fun.
Oh, dear. Klingon Punch and Judy. Now I want to see that.
That's mostly just Punch.
Oh, I think you'd be surprised. I think Judy is the one with the knife.
The bat'leth.
Yeah. Where all the children have to have a little wooden shield to protect themselves against the shuriken thrown by the puppets. Yeah. I've made this joke many times before in various Star Trek chats that I'm in, but like I once like came across a photo of like an American wrestling like spectacular with an open arena with lots of fireworks and flames going off and like a big arena in the middle. That is absolutely what Klingon opera looks like.
Oh, totally, yeah.
Right? Everybody wants to get splattered in blood. There's real, actual blades.
Lamenting slaves.
Woo!
But yes, there's a little bit of argument. We can't lock onto it. There's not a shuttle that's maneuverable enough to go in there into the accretion disk.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'll just take an EVA suit and like with a thruster pack and I'll just fly right in there.
Saru really objects. He
of course.
Thinks they should leave.
Yes.
Actually, hey, let's think about this. Are you on Team Saru or on Team Burnham? Because Saru thinks, let's leave it alone. That would be the more reasonable course of action. And Burnham thinks, let's go and take a look.
Yeah.
We're explorers. Like, which side are you on?
I mean, I like considering like Starfleet and everything that's like their directive, like to go out and meet new things and like to seek out new incivilities, new highs.
Oh dear!
To boldly smoke what no one has smoked before.
Oh dear!
No wait, that's.
So you'd be on Team Burnham?
Oh yeah, we're here to explore. There's a weird thing, and even though it's trying to hide from us, unless we have reason to think that's a good idea, which I mean, I guess it's always the nosy page. Like someone's trying to hide from us. Well, let's find out why they're hiding.
Yeah,
that's very much Federation, the way the Federation thinks. And Saru's being a little bit yellow here. I mean, he always is. Like, always err on the side of caution. Like, let's not disturb it. Like, don't poke the thing.
Yeah, he's being a fraidy cat.
Yes.
Or as that onomatopoeia was rendered in Tommy Wiseau's The Room, cheep, 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 cheep. Still don't understand why. Oh, I got to show a friend of ours The Room for the first time. It was incredible. I'm going to be on Team Saru. Because I think it would be entirely reasonable to leave it alone. Right? It's something that we're not here for it.
No, he literally says that.
And here I thought we were doing a deep space communication relay audit.
Yeah. Job done.
Yeah.
It's not bothering us. It's not a threat. And it actually clearly doesn't want to be looked at.
No. So the captain gets to be the tiebreaker.
Yeah. Of the conflict, specifically, Burnham says, oh, then I'll just go, despite the fact that it apparently has huge health risks, which will unspool her DNA in 20 minutes.
Into noodles.
Like noodles.
And she says, well, 20 minutes.
I'll be back in 19.
Yeah.
A flyby.
Because like no damage is done during the first 19 minutes. Your DNA is just sitting there with a little stopwatch going, looking at the radiation like, well, that's 20 minutes. Time to fall apart.
Yes, but it's also like machines are rated for certain, and like if you have someone with a you still wouldn't measure it in minutes.
LDL 50, it's like those like after like if you take a dose, this dosage, you've got a 50% chance of surviving.
I mean that
LD
is
50, is it?
That is true for a lot of things, but like I think the sort of modern understanding of radiation exposure, ionizing radiation exposure, is that there's a really, really high like initial limit.
Yes, you're kind of fine until you hit that, and after that you start getting real quickly.
Yeah. So it's not just straight up linear, like up to this many microsieverts. And I just love the name sievert for these units because there's for those of you who may be familiar, an extremely environmental cartoon in the 80s with like
Captain Planet.
It was that kind of vibe, except it was Siebert. Was the he was like a little seal, and he befriended some locals, and there was like a
vaguely familiar
Inuit girl, and there was a white boy or something.
Yeah, of course.
And they went on environmentally conscious adventures.
Okay, so the captain basically puts them both checkmate because she asks,
And you, Mr. Saru, are you equally happy not to be put at risk?
to which his reply is,
Oh, on any occasion.
"Oh yes, of course. I'm always ready not to be put at risk, sir."
Because she did a Wisdom of Solomon thing here. She suggests, okay, then you should go together. And both of them
yes. So she's like, I don't want to be put him at risk. And he's like, I don't want to be put at risk. So, good.
I think
We're all in agreement then.
I think Burnham's full of shit here. She just wanted a little space adventure for herself.
Course, yeah.
But yeah, you're going to be out of communication. You're going to be on your own. But Burnham says, we've come all this way.
It would be irresponsible to leave whatever that is unknown.
Yeah. And the captain says, one flyby only. One ping only.
One ping only. It's sick. Out for Red October reference there, bro.
And as she
do you see how she struggled she sort of caught herself to not say illogical there?
Yes.
It would be irresponsible. That's the other one.
She's been trained not to say that. So, and we get another little bit of example of how the captain encourages a little levity in communications aboard the ship. Because as she is suiting up and making her way out of the airlock, we hear Ensign Danby saying,
On behalf of Captain Giorgio and the entire crew of the USS Shenzhou, we'd like to welcome you to Flight 819 with nonstop service to the object of unknown origin.
The temperature is a brisk minus 260 degrees Celsius.
And we forecast miles debris, but anticipate a smooth ride. This is when I fell in love with Star Trek Discovery. Like, I was just so impressed with... because it probably is the EV number. Like, they probably number their EV flights.
Quite likely, yeah.
Right, and 819, for a multi-year mission.
Yeah, it just happens to be this one that they're on, yeah.
And she's in a gorgeous spacesuit. It has a huge dome for her to look out of, with a screen built in.
Yeah. And she's wearing a gold, like, snakeskin outfit.
Oh, yeah, with a little skull cap. And
the internal suit.
Yeah, we sometimes get to see people wearing that suit less obstructed. A lot of people screenshotted Spock's bum in that particular gold. Like, it really hugs the cheeks.
Well, if you have the cheeks for it, then yes.
Oh, hell yes. We get to see Kayla Detmer for the first time. She'll become a regular on Discovery.
What does she play? What's her character?
So she's the pilot. She flies the ship.
Right.
So she...
Confirming 6-second directional thrust for saucer realignment.
Because they're moving the ship to face her in the right direction.
Yep.
And they don't actually launch her. She does her own launching. But
no,
I guess...
her Mac boots disengage and then her thrusters fire. And off she is.
Maybe they're offering the dish up as a thruster firing platform, to get some additional thrust,
or just make it. That makes no difference. But yeah, I guess it's just like making it so that she can just like launch straight at the target and doesn't have to maneuver her way around the ship first. That makes sense.
Yeah,
as everybody who's played KSP knows, that it makes it a lot easier. Your EVA is a lot easier if your Kerbals already start on the right side of the ship.
Okay, but if you said those words to anyone who speaks English who doesn't know about orbital mechanics or Kerbal Space Program, like, he would, are you having a stroke? Her boots leave the saucer and they turn from red to green. And now she's floating free. And they did this with what's called a parallelogram rig. It's like a platform on arms that can remain, the orientation remains stationary, even if it moves up and down and side to side.
Right.
And it's a much better way to represent anti-gravity than straight up wires.
Okay. Because
Because
especially in a spacesuit, I guess. Yeah.
Yes. So the idea is instead of just hanging on the wires, in which case you get uncontrolled swinging and turning, you're also like tied at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And with multiple wires, so they have much more control about your orientation. You can turn sideways.
That makes sense. It's kind of like how they did the floating pen scene in 2001. It's like there's this like first time you're in space, then there's this shuttle or this little traffic liner. It's like when you see the crew member kind of like carefully walking through the cabin with her Velcro booties. There's a pen floating through it, which she picks out of the
Velcro boots is a good idea.
Yeah. But it was like they just stuck it to a glass plate, which they held in front of the camera, and then they and then they moved it around, and it's like it works really well. It looks fantastic. Anyway, she has this cute little reticule over her eye, which points at the target.
Yes,
presumably aligns the thruster system.
Yeah, because it says 4321 above her, and she's got to get her pupil reticule up into that window.
Yep.
For confirmation, and then the rockets fire, and off she flies, and it's amazing. This sequence, like, it's the only real sort of action sequence that we get in this episode.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Like, there's a bit of a fight, but it's barely
over in seconds. It's like it's not even a fight.
You know, I thought it was interesting. Your other half was watching this as well, and apparently not super familiar with it, because at this point. He went like, "Oh, she's not going to survive this, is she?" Because he wasn't genre aware and like, okay, she's been getting a lot of screen time in a pilot episode. They're gonna,
no, sorry, that's the main character. Oh, okay,
okay, that makes sense. And she's got BP is rising, 130/70.
A little elevated for her.
She's having fun.
Almost to the debris field, Captain.
She is booking it, because she has 19 minutes to go. The thing is 2,000 kilometers away, and she arrives there at mission time 12:30 or something like that.
12:30 remaining, so it's barely been 8 minutes.
Right, less than that. It's been more like 6 minutes. And she's covered 2,000 kilometers in 6 minutes. That's a fast thruster pack.
Yeah, well, I mean, she went. She had a wee beforehand, and she brought her own snacks. So then, I mean, it's like you doing cross-continental travel in Europe. Like you just go. My husband and I we travel in comfort and stop whenever we want. And no, you're just.
Oh yeah, we stop, gas up the car, quick pee break, grab a sandwich, and rarely a stop longer than 15-20 minutes, because that's what eats into your travel time.
Oh, totally.
It's like average speed makes a little difference on those long haul runs.
Yeah,
but the thing that really kills your average speed is your brakes.
See, our attitude is to try to make the journey itself part of the vacation.
Anyway,
they lose contact.
Shenjo, do you copy?
To object 1,000 kilometers.
Shenjo, do you copy?
Automatic course correction.
Oh, it's thrilling. Like
Shenzo does not copy.
The debris field is really dense, and maybe this is okay. I know that you have a bugbear, which I've adopted from you, that asteroid fields are not as dense as they're portrayed in science fiction. You can almost move planets through that without much odds of hitting anything big.
Also, the distribution is not very
uniform. Or are they more chaotic?
No, the concentration is much higher around Jupiter's Lagrange points.
Wait, what? Hold on a second. Okay, so
sorry, the Lagrange points. So the Jupiter Sun Lagrange points. That's what I'm talking about here. So there's
a Lagrange point, as I know it, is where the influence of two gravitationally heavy bodies sort of cancel each other out. Correct. So you have an area of space where you're not being pulled in either direction.
More or less, you're actually being pulled in both directions. But
net result, so if you're standing there, you can stay there.
More or less,
floating.
yes. So you've got stable and unstable Lagrange points, depending on the shape of the saddle, the gravity saddle that you get there. But the classic ones are the ones like between Earth. So there's one between Earth and Moon. There's one between, but there's also ones trailing and leading in orbit.
Okay.
So what you see is, if you look at an actual correct map of the asteroid belt, is that there's a big cluster which is leading Jupiter in a lower orbit. There's a big cluster which is trailing Jupiter in a lower orbit. And there's one across from the sun, from movement, and they kind of hang out there in those concentration areas, and occasionally they'll get launched out and they'll shoot over towards the other one of the other ones.
What?
So you got so that's
awesome.
Yeah. So that's asteroids for you. Anyway, but this is an accretion disk. That's different. That's more akin to a ring around a planet.
Yeah, it's a debris field in a binary system because two stars, they're doing just whatever.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not sure if they're supposed to. I mean, Burnham talks about it like how it's how all creation is born from violence or something.
Chaos and destruction, yeah,
that's the one
all
she
life.
says. So I'm assuming that these two binary stars are going to like clash into each other, do a big supernova. It's going to create lots more heavy
elements,
which are
much like our solar system.
Yeah. I mean, that's
in gold and lead, and
we're all made out of star stuff. It's like everything heavier than hydrogen was like created in a star.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah,
like the universe. I saw this as a physicist's rebuttal of the idea of the gender binary. Like,
right,
okay, if you take the universe, it's 75% hydrogen, 24.9% helium, and the rest is just mist. So So
that might as well not exist.
Exactly. Yeah. We live in a carbon-free, iron-free universe.
Universe is made out of hydrogen and helium. That's exactly right.
Uh-huh.
So she approaches, and once she gets through the field, she actually gets a good look at it, but she loses contact with the Shenzhou.
And she has the internal computer is online.
Mission time?
12 minutes, 58 seconds.
Plenty of time to take a peek.
Girls peek!
And she gets to, what was her job again?
Xenoanthropologist.
Yeah, she literally gets to anthropologize here, because she's like floating around it, and she is marveled by it.
I'm above the object, which is old. It's difficult to tell if it was constructed or carved.
I can only describe it as wow.
Yeah. And she has a quote here, which I looked up where that was from.
I can't remember who said sculptures are crystallized spirituality.
It's a paraphrasing, but it's a kind of a beautiful thing. And yeah, it just looks like. Does it look like anything to you? Did it remind you of anything?
Moya?
Yeah. From Farscape.
Moya's a little bit smoother, but it kind of felt like that. You know?
But she also got sort of the metal veins on her skin.
Right, exactly, yeah.
You're right, because she also sort of feels like stone, but also
stone with a metal exoskeleton is how she describes it, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And
the construction and design are nothing short of astounding.
Nope. And she's going to check it out, and she's going to land on it. And as soon as she does, like those spines start reading up. It's like a lionfish, actually, spines, which suddenly start.
That is great. Yes, it's like a lionfish.
That's what it reminds me of, yeah.
Also, like claws unsheathing. There's
Maybe,
an immediate sort of
there's some of that
idea of menace, but we don't know what they're
also
for.
Also, the Thunderdome being erected.
But
hold on. My presence has triggered some sort of motion response.
Yep.
And then there's suddenly proximity alert.
Yep. And there is a tall figure behind her all of a sudden. Where did he come from?
Big old figure so the book that I've got about the makeup talks about the construction. These are like 18 different pieces. Some of them were like foam molded, and some of them are sculpted, some of them 3D printed and stuck together with Velcro, and this clips onto that. And they also have to have like a cooling system because you've got to have someone do some fighting in there. The paint job is sort of reminiscent to like auto parts.
Oh, yes.
And different levels of reflectivity, and absolutely gorgeous. Especially like the menacing helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Because it doesn't register as eyes. It's like it's like a lamp.
It doesn't show his face either. It just hers. You can see her face through her helmet, but his face you can't see through the helmet. But the suit scans and
iconography confirmed. Klingon.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And interesting, like, considering how trauma triggering, it turns out that contact with Klingons, it turns out to be for Burnham later in the episode. She starts off with,
I'm Commander Burnham of the United Federation of Planets.
And I really before she gets to say, we come in peace, he gets cut off by the Klingon who is like charges her with his bat'leth.
Fortunately, she doesn't get cut off. He swings and misses, and his bat'leth is stuck in the ground, and so that interface where you had the little reticule, because he's so much taller than her, she has to look up and accidentally confirms the ignition of her thrusters.
Oh, you think that's what happens?
That's what I think. Like she didn't.
Because I noticed that later on in the episode, she says like, well, yes, I activated my thrusters to get out. Yeah, would you do that on purpose? Also, going right at them is probably not the smartest way to go about this.
That is fascinating, actually, because yes, throughout this episode, in fact, throughout the next one as well, she's not in touch with her emotions, right? As we discover shortly.
And it then lands her in the brig.
Her parents were killed by Klingons.
Yep.
She holds deep resentment, unprocessed trauma. Like, it doesn't help that she grew up on Vulcan, which does not offer...
Not beneficial to processing trauma.
I mean, for Vulcan brains, it might work fine,
yeah.
but like human brains have different needs, and she didn't get what she needed in that environment. So did she do it on purpose? I had to consider that.
I thought it was a stupid move, so probably not.
Yeah, but she's also not stupid. Like,
that's why it's like. But she's not stupid, but it works because she in the process impales him on his own bat'leth.
Yeah.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow. Killed like a chump by a human.
He died like Samuel L. Jackson insisted that his character should not die in the Star Wars films as a condition. He did not. He died as some sucker, which he had put in his contract. Like, he would only accept it if this role. I know all the Jedi die by the end of like episode 3. I do not want to die like some sucker, and he does not.
No, he gets flung out of the building, doesn't he?
And from the Shenzhou, they can't see what happened.
No.
Because there's still the scattering field, but they do see that she's floating free. And
they catch up some minimal telemetry.
Telemetry only. Blood pressure is 70 and falling. She won't make it unless we get her back now.
Transporter control. Do we have her, Mr. Wheaton?
Pattern integrity is 2 weak, Captain.
So we get a lock on her. Boost the signal.
No signal. Well, then give me a signal.
Yeah. Push
your buttons harder.
Sounds sort of unreasonable, but like that's sort of a summary from I need a solution to this. I know that you don't have it right now. That's what I need you to work on.
Yeah.
Come up with your own ideas.
Remote fire the jetpack. She's offline. It doesn't work.
Engineering tractor beam. I actually kind of like how she sort of...
I love, you say that, like, engineering tractor beam. It's like doing manual calculation. And he's literally standing there with a calculator in his hand, like tapping in numbers and trying to work it out.
Yeah.
But the scattering field is a problem, so until she clears, there will be no transporting.
And you just have to...
Hang on.
And we see this great shot of Burnham, like, spinning around. Another lovely bum shot.
Her helmet cracked.
And fritzing.
Red emergency signals flashing on the inside.
Commander, do you read? Please respond.
And she floats off into
commercial
break. This was that time still.
And after the commercial break, we still do not learn what happened to her because we go to the internals of the Klingon ship where they are holding a funeral for the honorable forebearer who was killed by the interloper.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah, well, he did get killed like a chump, so, you know.
And also, maybe there's just no judgment there. Like,
they're usually pretty judgmental. I think he's
but, like, he's killed by the interloper, which is, like, not in itself a problem, right? People are killed by their neighbors all the time, and as long as it follows, like, as long as it was an honorable death, then no vengeance is required, as we learn from the House of Quark.
Yeah. I mean, it was in combat, so...
Yeah.
Even though it's... but yes, and I also noticed a quite interesting discrepancy between the Klingons and what a lot of human cultures have.
Oh.
A lot of human cultures, it's customary to close the eyes of the deceased, whereas here it's the opposite. He opens his eyes and... I see you as you see the end, and our torchbearer honors us first in our crusade for self-preservation to die.
Yeah.
And the sarcophagus gets sealed up and floats out of the room. That's a fantastic shot, that is.
Yeah. They really put their pennies into this set. Like, I don't know any, like, Earth architecture that this is reminiscent of. Like, it seems so much its own thing.
In a way. I mean, like, keeping the dead around isn't that unusual.
Oh, I meant the set design.
Oh, right, sorry.
Right, the way that there's all of these angles, like they're probably reminiscent of, like, animals and plants that just don't exist on our planet.
Yeah, good point. And as the sarcophagus floats out, it floats along the ship, and we can see many more of these. And it neatly slots into an empty space, and they keep the dead on the outside of the ship as armor, and they fight with us as we fight against our enemy.
And I have a little howl.
Howl about now.
The Funk Soul Brother, yes, warning the honored ancestors in Sto-vo-kor that a warrior is coming. And we find Burnham, who has some serious burns on her face.
Burnham.
I think the original character name was Rainsford and was changed to Burnham for some reason. Rainsford is also a classic
And
name.
as she is in the proton treatment chamber, she has a flashback to her time at Ender's Game University.
It does look like that, doesn't it?
It does a bit.
And it looks like an arcade. It looks like...
My first thought was Tron, actually.
Tron! I was just gonna... Yeah. It's all the blue and the yellow lines, and she's in these sphere sockets, which is how Vulcan exams are done, apparently.
Yeah, we see a young Burnham with a fantastic Vulcan bowl cut.
Yeah. Like, Klingon social order rest upon?
Inviolable honor-shame dynamics.
Correct.
And she goes through all these questions until...
Number of survivors at the human Vulcan science outpost at Doctrine Alpha.
Ooh, and she completely locks up.
And the screen shows her all these horrific images of homes on fire and people being killed.
And this must have been tailored to her. This can't just be a general exam. This must have been specifically made to try and to see if she could be triggered.
Yeah.
That's a harsh teaching method.
I'm not going to assume that it was done as a way of like bullying a human in particular, but like maybe this exam also has a component of emotional resilience testing. That all the students get this.
Yeah, they just get different things thrown at them. That's possible.
Like whatever is known to be a stressor or a trauma.
Right. Yeah, because the computer, like after a few seconds, like, oh no, sorry, too late. Next question. Oh no, sorry, too late. Next question.
Unacceptable delay between a correct answer. And I'm just having a thought here. What if Vulcans don't do trauma?
Mm-hmm.
What if, like, that mechanism doesn't occur in Vulcan minds, and so they don't have any... Like, they have stressors, they have fears, but a trauma, right, that's not just a stress, that's not just fear, it's...
Let's see, do we have any counter examples from that? We have...
Spock doesn't count.
No, I know. So I'm thinking Picard experiencing Sarek, but that's only experiencing his emotions. Basically,
which are strong.
He offloads his emotions on Picard to experience,
he has regrets,
so he can do his diplomatic negotiations.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Do we know any other? There's nothing that comes to mind, right?
Sarek, we know to Paul.
Yeah.
To Paul.
We don't know if she has any. I don't think there's any actual trauma like in her past that's been exposed in the in the episode. So I wouldn't know about that. Anyway.
This is just occurring to me. I think it's really because like. With no disrespect, of course, to the experience of people with trauma, this is something very, very common to humans. And, but it is a function of how our brains work, and different brains work different ways.
Maybe Vulcans don't do PTSD.
Yeah, maybe not. Or maybe that's just such a emotional repression is such a baseline for them that they don't notice.
If you've been doing it all your life, it's yes.
Actually, that would be Klingons. Klingons just do PTSD like. It starts off with them having full memory of like the process of being born and the freak out that causes.
Oh God, it's cold out here. It's like
what is this? This sucks.
I'm not even having a good time. But yes, the program is paused and Sarek is looking down on her in more ways than one.
A huge surprise to very many people, like people watching this who hadn't seen like the announcements that she was Spock's half sister or a stepsister or whatever. Like, what are these connections? To them, it must have been a surprise. Although now I'm thinking about Advik, who had never seen Star Trek before.
Yeah.
So when she says
Sarek,
that means nothing to someone who hasn't seen any Star Trek before.
It's just a name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sarek, who is standing there looking for all the world like that goth character from the It Crowd. Played by what's his name again? Mighty Bush guy. He also did the Dick Turnpike thing, which
Dick Turnpike. You think Turpin?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, look, here's me with some graphs.
Yeah, that's never mind.
Yeah, also not a fan of that. Do you? Maybe you just don't like British comedy. Is that a way to stay?
I like other British comedy. It's like it's just like I don't know. I mean, like I'm not going to be. We don't do negative on this podcast, so I'm not going to go in.
Considering your deep space relay, to trigger a response, like pulling on the Federation's pigtails to get them to notice you.
Yeah. So she goes like, I'll maybe I should like learn Vulcan, and then like I'll be better. And his response is quite harsh.
Your human tongue is not the problem. It is your human heart.
So, I've actually got a new reading on this now. I'm watching this because I know Sarek's arc and like he approaches death at some point, and he has
Well, it takes a long time before he gets there.
Oh no! There's an episode later in the season where he suffers a bomb attack and he nearly dies. And there has to be a psychic connection.
So I was going to say, we know that he's alive 100 years later for
totally.
TNG.
I think he's way more patient and empathetic and loving than Michael can understand.
Mm-hmm.
And like also just because he fails to communicate to her, but like the way he says,
when emotion brings us ghosts from the past, only logic can root us in the present.
So there you go with your PTSD.
Right, and it sounds judgy.
Yeah,
but from his point of, well, maybe it's more advising,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
Huh. I mean, he still may be limited, like in his ability to give young Michael what she needs at this age, but yeah, maybe she isn't hearing this enough at this time.
Possible, at least he thinks it is. Like from his, like he's got very little experience at this point. When he's got very little experience in like dealing with human kids. I mean, she is older than Spock.
Yes, yeah, but she came into their lives, the Sarek's family, when she was already a bit older.
But fortunately, she wakes up and she's in the proton chamber.
It's a lot like the chamber in the Fifth Element, and she's dressed a lot like Liluminai Lekaradima Laminai Chai Ekmat Sebat.
Very good.
Thank you.
Excellent Fifth Element reference there.
With strategically placed bandages.
Yes. Strapless evening. Sorry, gownless evening straps.
Yeah, you're right. She's wearing. That's the one. She marches off in her gownless evening straps, and she puts on a robe as she marches out of this combination chamber, and the doctor runs after her.
Like, no, you're not ready yet.
You don't want to die that way, Commander.
And she slams the door, and she goes off to the bridge, and she asks what's going on.
Have they made contact? Who's they?
Yeah, and she's like, the Klingons. Hello.
Wait, what Klingons?
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the last 3 hours, Senjo has just been spinning his wheels trying to find other information, none of which has been forthcoming. Oh, yeah, and the captain points out...
Almost no one has seen a Klingon in 100 years.
Because, like, apparently between the end of Star Trek Enterprise and, like, the start of Discovery, just nothing much has been...
No.
Like...
And Saru is standing there in the background quietly going, she's radioactive.
Yes, you're right. Here.
The footage was corrupted.
Internal sensors show that the commander has entered the bridge in an irradiated state. Without immediate treatment, her condition will most certainly be terminal.
And also, she's still glowing. Anybody else notice this?
Yes.
Captain, the side of you that's facing her is tanning right now. Nobody else thinks this is a problem?
And she is like urging, like, this is bad, we need to do this. And the captain considers it. And like she errs on the side of caution. She believes her. She doesn't think that she's just being delusional and just like screaming about like Klingon attacks because she's like maybe presuming on the fact that she has like trauma from her colony being killed. But she goes to red alert. Everything goes red, even including the viruses, the screens on the Snailhead girl.
The protogen.
Yes.
As you pointed out. Yeah, we should talk about the people here on the bridge because they don't really get names. Oh, Mr. Yanusi does get a name, and some of them, for those who pay attention, show up in the Mirror Universe episodes.
Oh,
at some point because they, aside from Kayla Detmer and Saru, the rest don't really transfer to Discovery,
which makes sense.
Yeah. It's kind of a miracle that 2 officers from the Shenzhou are on the Discovery.
Well, Burnham was a special case, wasn't she? Because she was incarcerated for insubordination.
And that was technically a coincidence, or was it? Wink, wink, wink. But so you have Mr. Yanusi, you have a white-faced humanoid alien with interesting skin texture and all of these...
We've got one of the... no, it's a different blue.
Ports?
It's a different blue one because he doesn't have to sniffer the portable harmonica.
I think that's the one we're talking about. Like it's white, sort of mother of pearl almost, and he has these. He's called Polygon in the sort of makeup department because that's the defining feature. It's almost like he's got sockets in his cheek.
Pyramid head, but polygon head.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And Mr. Yanusi has a Leal helmet, Leal. It says on the side. Nobody knows what that stands for.
Okay. Burnham is starting to throw orders around, like target the face cannons, and To which someone goes, like, I think it's Saru.
We cannot destroy another culture's property on a whim.
Didn't say
on a whim.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about destroying. Let's say about talking about aiming at it. It's
Yeah. Because like Saru's original approach was, okay, so now we definitely have to withdraw, right? But
yes.
Giorgio points out,
This is Federation space. Retreat is not an option.
So it's no longer acceptable for that thing to hide.
Yeah.
We have to make it show itself. So by targeting the phase cannons, by the way, not phasers.
Oh, right, yes.
Then that might elicit a response. And a response it elicits.
It's locked on, something is scanning them, and in a green special effect, a massive ship.
It's huge.
Decloaks just in front of them.
And everyone's like,
Impossible.
And they do a quick check.
No warp signatures detected, Captain.
Where did they come from?
Yeah, they were there all along. Oh.
Yeah, you've been looking through them this whole time.
Yeah, it's amazing that she didn't bump into them when she was flying over to the
Oh yeah, we missed that deleted scene where they
bit of
to
luck.
the side and
That's a bit of luck there. So I didn't realize that the ship wasn't the same as the beacon.
Right, yeah.
I thought that was the same thing, and they just must have moved or something. But no, it turns out that the beacon is still hidden there in the accretion disk.
Yep. Because we don't actually get to see the transit between the beacon where the torchbearer died and
we don't.
The sarcophagus ship. So no, that totally makes sense. And also from line of sight, they're originally looking through the sarcophagus at the beacon.
Also, how did the torchbearer get to the beacon without them being noticed?
Had to have another cloaked shuttle or
personal
something.
cloaking device? Yeah, I guess so. Makes sense. Well, as much sense as anything in Star Trek ever does.
I was just thinking about historical Star Trek lore.
Mm-hmm.
The idea existed that, initially in the original series, the Romulans didn't have warp drive.
Oh, right.
Which just makes absolutely no sense why they'd be an interstellar power. But that was extrapolated into the Klingons had warp drive but no cloaking device, and they traded those technologies. It kind of makes sense for cloaking technology to be invented by Romulans with their deep secrecy fetish.
That makes sense, yes.
But in this case, in Discovery, it's established that T'Kuvma's father rediscovered this old derelict Klingon ship, which had this technology that was lost or unknown to the rest of the Klingons. And so it's unique to this the Death ship.
Okay, very good. Burnham gets ordered back to the proton chamber, and while the Shenzhou is trying to hail the Klingon ship, there's a cute little cut from the Shenzhou's hails to those hails being heard on board the Klingon ship, but ignored because they have more pressing matters.
Yeah, all is as it meant to be, says T'Kuvma, because we pulled their pigtails and now they're reacting, and that's how it should be.
But we've got our torchbearer died, so we're going to need another one. Who's next?
And someone steps up, the brother of the previous one, but he has his questions. He asks, let me see if this is Jie.
Here.
Yeah, there we go. That's the sort of honorific prefix. That's how you start with, I mean this politely.
Or as the subtitles call it, Ofek.
Okay, there is a subtitle issue there. But I remember this from in Star Trek Into Darkness. That's how Uhura starts when she talks to the Klingons.
Here.
I wonder if it means you slightly less than normally.
Yeah. It means no offense intended, but not something offensive is going to follow.
There was some joke about what do you do with one of those annoying reply guys on the internet or someone who's mansplaining? You throw them into a well, actually.
Very good.
Okay.
But yes, he said you have great wisdom in your teaching. So here we come with a shit sandwich. You start with a compliment, then you give your actual critique, and then you finish with a compliment again.
Aha.
But are you sure that they're going to be coming? Will they answer the call? And he's yes, everyone must answer when Kaylee's beacon is shining in the sky.
Yeah. And actually, let's listen to that a bit more. I kind of love this. I know a lot of people. You're on the side of maybe the people who didn't love that.
I was going to launch into a rendition of the rest of the conversation, but please make your point.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
go for it.
No. I was in English.
We can look up. Okay. No, fine. I'm not gonna torture you with that. But yeah, it has this staccato rhythm because also in their speech patterns and in the vocal modification in post, these were efforts to hide Shazad Latif's identity as Vogue by making everyone sound, and also their it's cultural, right? They're medieval. Like, you could actually totally imagine some Earth-based cult trying to speak Old Gaelic or like Middle English.
I guess, yes. And maybe they're even like on purpose, like speaking Old Klingonese, you know?
Exactly. Juan dat April with his shower salt the drucht of March hath perset to the rote.
Very good.
Little Chaucer reference there for the nerds.
He is like, you doubt, you dishonor only yourself.
That's a good line.
Yeah. Again, very manipulative bastard he is. He's like throwing honor and dishonor around as it suits him.
We don't know that. We don't know what their shame and honor structure is.
True.
He is casting judgment, right? He has his own perspective.
Yes.
And you know what? Manipulative is fair, but that's what all leaders always do.
And Vox smells opportunity because he goes like, I'll do it.
And he's Volk.
Son of none. Yes.
Yeah. And he's really interesting. He's wearing a red outfit versus, by the way, we haven't talked about these costumes.
There are other guys with red outfits as well.
Yeah, T'Kuvma is in this beautiful black and gold number.
Yes.
Like a seashell almost.
Oh, it reminds me more of the, what's his name in 300? I am a benevolent god guy, like with his...
Xerxes.
Xerxes, yes, with his enormous chest thing, whatever you want to call it.
Oh. Yeah, he's got a breastplate. It's got funky shapes. Also, something that I really like about they've got all these thorns, right, on their
shoulders,
costumes, and some of them have them on other parts, and all of them are like tipped with jewels that sort of looked like. I mean, they're rubies, sort of, but they look like they're
blood.
Yeah. Yes. It's a beautiful style that some of them have, but there's a huge diversity here because some of these are from T'Kuvma's planet and world, and some of them are converts who have joined his cause, such as Volk, who was cast out by his own house because of the color of his
albinism,
skin.
Yeah, I suppose, or whatever passes for that. And at first, he's like, "You are unworthy," and he's like, "No, I am not. I am worthy, not because of who I'm born as, but how much I believe."
And that is awesome.
Yeah, and he's like, he smells like, good, a useful fool.
Okay, you're ascribing motivations to T'Kuvma that I don't believe are literally supported. I think it's entirely possible for T'Kuvma to believe everything he's preaching here.
Maybe, yes.
Right?
I'm inherently skeptic to sect leaders, so like...
No, and that's absolutely fair. Of course, like, Volk's faith is out of the question, like, here. Like, he's completely devoted, and, like, he goes through the rest of this season taking up T'Kuvma's mantle after he's killed. So even if T'Kuvma was a manipulative hypocrite, Volk isn't.
No, he's a zealot. Because it says that he is reborn in flames, and to prove it, he holds his hand there until T'Kuvma removes it from the fire.
With a kind of resolve that sort of suggests,
I'm going to hold my hand here until it's burnt to a crisp, or you agree to me, with me.
Yeah.
Yes, no, absolutely.
And T'Kuvma quite publicly, like, embraces, not physically, but this person that he sees. And there's a beautiful line. Like, some may see the color of your skin as nature's mistake. I call it a mirror, for I see myself in you.
Right, yes.
And, now they get interrupted because long-range sensors detect movement, just as you predicted.
They are moving in. Okay, well, honor's yours. Here's my bat'leth. Good luck. Bye.
Light the beacon.
Yes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that chanting. The other chant that they do is remain Klingon. I was not ready for the Lazarin chant of strength. Perhaps the Mokhtar chant of strength.
Something like that, yes. But yes, cut to the bridge of the Shenzhou again, where they are still trying to hail it.
There's an interesting moment where everybody's trying to get the Klingons to respond, and they're still not hailing. Saru pulls Burnham aside and shows her his scan of the ship, including all those things on the outside.
Her hull is covered in hollow ornamental metallic pods, thousands of them, tightly interlocked, forming a kind of armor.
And I love Burnham's response.
Not the most efficient defense.
I think you're missing the point here.
Because Saru is trying to convince Burnham to go with his plan, to withdraw.
Yes.
These are people who cover their ship in the bodies of their dead. Like
some thousands and some only hours old.
Like, whatever this is, we need to withdraw. We don't know enough about it. It's complex. There's a willingness to destroy his hackles are raised quite literally.
Yes, because we learned something about Kelpians at this point.
Yeah. Because he says, your world has food chains, mine does not.
Our species map is binary. We are either predator or prey.
Which is kind of weird, honestly.
Yes.
Like the idea that there are predators that don't predate other predators, but I guess...
And it seems to imply that they're the same species?
It's sort of, it's because we are either predator or prey, so that gets a little bit weird. He's more right than he knows, actually.
Right.
As we later find out in season 2, where it turns out that actually Kelpians were the apex predator on this planet until the Baul sort of managed to fight their way back and kill them before they enter their carnivorous phase.
Right. And he says, like, our species is biologically determined for one purpose only.
Since the coming of death.
And it's coming.
Yeah.
And she looks at him skeptically. She doesn't disbelieve him, but she's like, skeptical, I think I would call it.
I think this is really interesting because both of them represent a reasonable point of view and they have a strong desire to convince the captain to follow their point of view. But Saru goes through Burnham first. He tries to form a sort of base of consensus.
Proper, like,
yeah, exactly.
She is his superior officer, as she like pointedly points out later on.
Sure, but I think also like he wants consensus with her because then they can convince the captain, which he'll find harder otherwise. Mm-hmm. And Michael specifically doesn't do this. It's a lesson that she doesn't learn. She maybe if she was thinking more clearly rather than the sort of responding out of trauma, which she keeps denying, it would occur to her to okay, I want this to happen. The captain is hard to convince. I have to convince a lot of other people and form a sort of base of support to lend credence to my arguments. If I can convince 5 other people, then my argument must be pretty strong.
Sure, yeah.
But she doesn't do that. She tries to barrel straight ahead and use her personal conviction.
And barrel ahead she does, because she goes marching straight into the captain's ready room, where she is talking to Admiral something or the other.
Maybe our relay got too close for Klingon comfort and they destroyed it to lure us out here.
Well, they clearly did the latter. If it's the former, we don't know, but... Oh, hi, by the way, my first officer just stormed on in.
Yeah.
Next time you might try not disturbing the property of a warrior race we've hardly spoken to for 100 years.
And this is the first communications hologram that we see in Star Trek, with the exception of, I think, that one time in Deep Space Nine where Sisko was chasing the Maquis and they had an experimental holographic.
Oh, right.
Because otherwise they'd just be talking to each other on screens and that was boring.
Yes.
And this was also something where some elements of toxic fandom and some people who really value visual continuity, which are not necessarily the same people. I say that with great respect. Where, but how can there be holograms when everything was on view screens back in 1966?
Well, everything on the Galactica is hardwired. We know there is no networking.
Yeah. Beautifully hand-waved later on when it turns out that Captain Christopher Pike just doesn't like holograms. He just doesn't like them. And he has them ripped out of his ship. But in the meantime, this representation is really, really interesting. Also, think about it from the perspective of this admiral. Because Burnham walks in from behind.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine being on a video call and somebody else appears on a screen behind you.
Right, yes. He's peaked, yes.
I think that it's different. I think it looks different for him than it does to her.
Could be.
From his perspective, the images of Georgiou and Burnham are side by side, and he can look at both of them. But his body's turning is something that the computer does, is my hypothesis.
Yeah,
and
that
we'll get to that
doesn't
later.
meet Occam's razor, but...
What?
The simplest solution is probably the right one, but...
Often, yeah. It's usually. Well, we'll provide some more evidence later on.
Okay.
But Burnham points out...
The ideal outcome for any Klingon interaction is battle.
And she goes on for that a little bit more, and the Admiral throws it kind of back at her.
Considering your background, I would think you're the last person to make assumptions based on race.
With respect, it would be unwise to confuse race and culture.
Europa and all fleet vessels within range will be at your coordinates in 2 hours.
So, we're sending reinforcements.
Yeah. This one was really, really good. Because, of course, having a white man in a position of power scolding a black woman on race...
Yeah, good point, yes.
No, right? Yeah. But, those were... In the writer's room, certainly, that must have been discussed.
Of course, yes.
That terminology. But it's specific. She grew up under heavy discrimination for being human, having been raised on Vulcan. And And he's right to chide her, and she is also right, as an anthropologist, to throw back, don't mistake race and culture.
Yeah.
Because you can
because that's never happened in Star Trek before.
No, but like, you don't make assumptions based on race.
Yeah.
You could totally make assumptions based on culture. If you know it well enough.
True.
Like, these are patterns that recur in people who follow this culture. In fact, they're dictated by their value system. So this is a really good argument.
But he leaves some very clear orders.
Do nothing. Absent provocation, understood.
All right, understood.
Ooh.
That went well.
Yeah.
Time to unclench.
Bit more sarcasm there.
Uh-huh.
So what's going on? Like, we're just in time for Saros's freak out. Since we're making Galaxy Crest references anyway.
Oh, no, there he goes.
Yeah.
Stop him. But Georgiou points out, like, from a captain's perspective.
There is a space station at Eagle 12, 3 light years away.
And 6 is an
Andorian
colony.
Yeah.
And
Sunjo is the only line of defense if the Klingons attack.
And she's like, well, I hope we can bridge our civilization gap. And Burnham accuses her, like, that's the diplomat in you talking.
What does the soldier say?
Yeah,
what does the soldier say?
And suddenly, the lights go on.
Yep.
It's an incredible effect. We get to see a starship environment in a way that we've never seen it before, and just everything's brightly lit.
Yeah, we know where all the real windows are now. Its output is over 9,000.
Oh, yeah. 1 billion lumens per square meter.
Plasma filters online. They are online.
Rerouting power.
Is that a weapon?
It seems to be some sort of signal emitter.
Because the beacon is glowing.
Yep.
And not just light, it's quantum EM subspace, which explains...
Wibbly-wobbly timey-wimey.
Because otherwise, oh, wow, it's so bright. Jesus, in about 30 to 60 years, everyone in the sector will see it.
Yes. But yes, apparently it does propagate a little bit faster. And Burnham is like, excuse me, can I go to the little girl's room?
Oh, there's a good bit of techno babble where there's an enormous amount of noise, and he asked for it to be turned down. And Saru says,
all the way down!
Acoustics are muted. That's the ship's superstructure and sympathetic vibration.
It's just the whole ship is shaking, yes. Oh, but she gets to permission, and props to the captain when Burnham asks to be excused. And she's like, really? Now? And she's like, it's important. Okay. No further questions asked. Like, I'm not going to waste all of us' time by getting you to explain yourself. If you say that it's important, I'm going to trust you as my first officer.
Exactly.
And figure out that whatever you got in your head is more important than you being on the bridge right now.
Yeah, and Burnham, she even hesitates to use the word. She probably was going to say important, but instead she says...
relevant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So she runs off to her quarters and opens a diplomatic channel.
Yeah, which needs a special diplomatic permission, which she has with her voice print.
Yeah.
And she's immediately connected.
Yeah, like Sarek was waiting for this call to come in.
Yeah, and he might have been. Because apparently he's just been informed about the ignition of this.
So immediately, well, yes. I mean, he's probably on call for someone calling him. I mean, he might not have expected it to be Michael, but...
And we see him standing in her room, and he's lit by the same light that's coming from the outside.
Yes, which is quite clever for a hologram. But
which suggests to me that these holograms are designed to are modified. Right. The basic shape and facial expression and the clothing of the person is transmitted, much like those VR helmet avatars.
Yes.
Right. That the people can make the bullshit that Meta did with Facebook or whatever it is with the metaverse is going to be the future. You can make an avatar for yourself. But I think Apple also did that with the Apple Vision Vision things. That you create an avatar for yourself, and then that one is modified to resemble, because I think Apple even does that to the degree when one of those avatars is created in space in front of you, there is an analysis of the lighting situation around you.
And it throws it back in there, yes. And the original Meta ones didn't even have legs. Meanwhile, the furries were building good enough hand detection and tracking to allow ASL to be used.
Trust furries to do that.
Yes. So the long-time reconnection between Sarek and Burnham starts off swimmingly.
Hello, Sarek. I'm happy to see you.
So many years, and still you allow emotional considerations to impede
nice to see you
logic.
too, you know? It's,
But she did it on purpose.
Oh, do you think so?
What? She knows.
Oh, I guess.
She knows him. Like you said, he was her stepfather, And she chose to say, "I'm happy to see you."
Yes, which is a human thing, I guess. Yeah.
Like it's presented
might have been a running joke between them at this point.
Yeah, like that.
Yes, very good point. I'll take that. I'll accept that headcanon. So I need your help, and he's like, "Oh, snippy again." Like,
I assume the timing of the call was not coincidental. The quadrant reports a new star in the sky.
Yeah. So that was quick. Yeah.
And the question:
What have you done out there on the edge of Federation space?
Maybe he's assuming it was her. So we found the Klingons. I killed one. Yay!
And he's just immediately sensitive to the situation.
Oh, yeah.
How rare to meet one's own demons in the flesh.
Yeah.
And she says she killed one. And he targets her emotional response even before he thinks about like the circumstances. Like, in light of the fact they killed your parents, some might think that only fair.
Completely missing any context and just like assuming it might have been a vengeance killing.
Which is certainly a component. Like she's his daughter.
Yeah.
He knows her mind very well. And also what she needs.
And he just does express his...
However, if a death was necessary, I am satisfied it was not yours.
Yes, happy to see you too, Dad.
Yeah. Now, here comes my bit of evidence. Because notice what happens in this gif. He walks over past her, toward her desk, and then sits down on the edge of the desk. And there's a weird sort of fritz.
Oh, I think you're thinking that is what that's why he's walking around. That's what he's doing in his own study, and then the computer tries to make it work for...
Yeah, like he sits down at his own desk or whatever, and the computer, okay, is there a space in here?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to move him over here.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to bend his legs, and now he's going to be in a seated position. Because...
I'm most certain you did not call me for emotional solace.
Nope. She explains that, like, we've not been shooting yet, but they didn't turn on the beacon until Starfleet was on its way to our position.
They think they're summoning more of their kind. They're setting up a conflict.
Right.
How do we solve this?
Uh-huh.
And Sarek shows himself, like, based on very little information, he's drawing some really significant conclusions. Like the idea that help will come is as he says,
an odd proposition, given that their empire has been in disarray for generations.
And so what you're describing is something out of the ordinary, and...
When a civilization acts in opposition to its instincts, maybe under the influence of something or someone new.
And here's a fun bit. There's a line that he says...
Great unifiers, few and far between, but they do come.
And throughout this, the camera is on Burnham.
Yeah. And he says, they need a profound cause, and but for their followers around, a war, or a Kristallnacht, as you might think of it in certain...
Oh, Jesus. Oof. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong in the comparison. Although the Kristallnacht...
Well, I don't know. It was a false flag operation. Well, sorry, the burning of the Reichstag. That was a kind of false flag operation. But yes, or at least it was a happenstance which was seized upon, rather than a constructed.
Right. Yes, taken as a flashpoint. But yes, it could have been anything. And he also advises...
Be very careful that your assumptions are not being driven by your past.
And she says they aren't. And because she's the protagonist, we're supposed to believe...
That she's right.
That she's right.
Yes.
But as we're like... This is what I think is brilliant about these opening episodes. She's wrong. She's internalized Starfleet or the Federation's values, but applies them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks that the preservation of our way of life is paramount, and thereby actually sort of proving T'Kuvma right. Because to the Federation, Klingons will always be enemies because they're destructive, dominant, right. Forceful.
Yeah.
So you either have to become more like us, in which case you're nice, or we're going to be enemies. And either way, like it ends with the destruction of someone from T'Kuvma's point of view. It doesn't occur to Burnham that your duty as a Starfleet officer is like you're actually supposed to die before you endanger like the cultural integrity of another species, right?
In a certain way. That's not how she is expressing it, though, because she's specifically making this call to figure out
how did the Vulcans achieve diplomatic relations with the Klingons.
Yeah.
That's why she made it. So, okay, we know that the Vulcans have not had war with the Klingons for 100 years. How, aside from a little incident here and there.
No, you're right. You're right. She's looking for a way to avoid this conflict.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
And he's like, well, yeah, well, there is one, but it might not work for you.
I really love the way you phrased that. That solution is particular to us.
Yes.
It works because he knows what he's about to say to her is going to be really attractive to her.
Yes.
She's going to really, really like this. But he also respects, okay, if you think you've got this under control, it is your call to make, and here comes the information, but...
You cannot save lives that have already been lost.
No, that's not how that works.
I mean, a bit.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
Tell us, how did you keep the Klingons at bay? And we don't, and the camera cuts away before we hear his response.
She walks out back onto the bridge and she tells the captain...
Captain, we have to fire on them. Hit that ship with everything we've got.
Yeah. That's something.
Well, because, 240 years ago, a Vulcan ship crossed into Klingon space, it got attacked immediately, and they destroyed the vessel, and...
But...
Vulcans don't make the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
So, until...
Ezel stoot zich geen 2 keer.
Yep. So until we had formal relationship, whenever we crossed them, we shot first. The Vulcans shot first.
Yeah.
And it seemed to have worked.
And I thought it was so brilliant, because this is not something that we'd assume that the Vulcans would do. But when you phrase it like this, okay, so we tried what was natural for us as Vulcans, and that got us destroyed.
And then we tried speaking a language that we thought the Klingons would understand.
Violence brought respect. Respect brought peace.
So, give them the Vulcan Hello.
So the idea, the title of this episode was known weeks in advance, the Vulcan Hello. That does not suggest,
shooting.
The Han Solo school of marksmanship.
Yes.
Or Mal Reynolds, for that matter.
Yes, very true.
I recently rewatched Serenity, and there's the scene where he meets the operative for the first time. The operative says, we're here as civilized men. I'm not threatening you. Yeah. I'm unarmed. And Mal said, "Oh, good," and draws his weapon and shoots him in the chest.
Yes. I love that, when Simon is worried about Mal killing him, and he goes "No, you're not my crew." It's like if I ever kill you, you'll be facing me and you'll have a gun in your hand.
Yeah.
It's oh, that's good to know.
Okay.
But the captain is very adamant.
Starfleet doesn't fire first. That's all, number one.
Yep.
We
are out of it. And she protests. And at this point, she puts her foot down. It's like, you, me, ready room, now.
Yeah.
Because she does the correct, leadership thing. It's like, you don't have these discussions in front of everybody.
Yeah.
This is a discussion you pull into private, and yeah.
Yeah, you were not asked for options.
Yeah.
You stated your opinion. It's been rejected. And you can see Michael just being completely blindsided by the idea that the captain doesn't follow her.
Yep.
And she doesn't even have strong arguments. She throws it on...
It would be logical for you to take into account my success rate during our 7 years together.
Yep.
And execute my plan without further challenge before we're dragged into war.
Also, in Serenity, you want to run this ship? And then Jane says, yeah.
Well, you can't. But yes, she realizes that she's overstepped because she immediately apologizes for insubordination. But first she gets the dressing down about you can't do that because I shouldn't have to tell you that as the first officer. That's you can't show that kind of dissent between the senior staff.
And on a personal note, that's the next dressing down she gets.
Taught you better than this.
Yeah.
We don't start shooting on a hunch.
And I understand your history, but that's a liability at this point.
Yeah, and Burnham denies it again. She will deny her feelings 3 times. Hear the cocking of the crow. Oh.
Isn't it the crowing of the cock?
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. And she suggests...
We target his neck. Cut off its head. They're still injured.
And here comes the thing that she's terrified about. She wants to save Giorgio and the crew of Discovery because they're her family now. She doesn't want her family to be killed. I think that's where she really is honest. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm not doing this because I hate the Klingons. The nature of her trauma is the Klingons are here to take my family again.
Yeah, very good point.
And I don't want them to do that.
No. So, but she is yeah, okay, stand down, Commander. That's an order. And oh, yeah. You're right. And ooh, Vulcan neck pinch.
Yeah. Which is apparently a thing that anyone can learn.
Yes. Although, yes.
Picard can do it. Data can do it. Seven of Nine can do it.
Yeah, good point. I mean, it makes sense if it's just like a particular nerve group. It's weird that it works on so many different species.
I guess the sort of intuition is in like interpreting this species, like how is it going to work for this species?
Where they get the sciatic nerve.
Oh, yeah. Well, not there, I can tell you that. As someone who's had sciatic nerve issues, it's not up in your shoulder. Although I do like the fact that Spock does it to a horse in the Final Frontier, which is so cool.
Okay. So she goes marching out onto the bridge.
Yeah.
You're relieved, Mr. Saru.
So, start aiming, like, load the photon torpedoes in the tubes, complete the firing solution, and we are going to shoot on the Klingons.
And she's sort of tactical about it, allaying Saru's worries.
We have to be ready in case that's what the captain decides.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Saru's
smoothly transitioning
he's not buying it.
No, right from the start, he doesn't buy, like, the absence of the captain. I think this is brilliant, because any other officer might have just accepted this because of the intensity of her approach. But as a Kelpian, he's particularly sensitive to a threat has entered the room.
Right. Oh, very good point. Yes.
Right.
And she asks if, like, are you doing this in the captain's orders? And like, oh, well, she dodges that one, and then he just basically says,
I fear what you are doing betrays the wishes of our captain.
Target phasers.
Yeah.
Take your station, Commander.
Yeah. Because, like, his sensitivity, his ability to identify that she's transformed, like, they've worked together for years, and right now she's a threat, and he detects it immediately. Nobody else sees it.
No, I guess not. Very good point.
And he
This
identifies.
is mutiny.
Move, Saru. Tactical.
Yeah.
Locked on, and she says, fire. And just in time.
Lay that order.
Yeah. The captain walks onto the bridge carrying a phaser, keeping it pointed at Burnham.
She's a little wobbly with that phaser.
You would be if you just got nerve pinched.
Exactly. Like, if I was Saru, I'd be taking a few steps back from Michael just in case.
It's always a good idea to get out of the line of fire.
Yeah. Not such an option for the helmsperson, though.
No,
like,
I mean, they're at their station.
Burnham, do you mind? Like, my chair is literally nailed down.
I mean, there are people that I would trust with a gun pointed at the person next to me, but there's not a lot of them.
Yeah, and one of them has an overture named after him.
Yes.
And she says,
Captain, please. I'm trying to save you.
I'm trying to save all of you.
No, stand down.
And the lights go off. And it's so shocking. Like, this light that's been blasting through every window for the last half hour is suddenly gone. And it's dark.
Everybody must, like, be blinking and like, oh, can't see shit.
And suddenly they feel alone again in a way that they kind of haven't with all that lovely light.
Not for long.
Yeah, because...
Captain, incoming. Warp signatures detected.
Is it Starfleet?
And no, they are Klingon. And one by one, in an amazing display of formation leaving warp, all the ships go dunk, dunk, dunk. It's more like watching Star Wars than like watching Star Trek.
It exactly is. We were just watching like Return of the Jedi, and it's like the Rebel fleet coming out over the forest moon of Endor.
Yeah.
Because they also all have like a little bit, like they slide to a halt. They come out just out of warp, and they still have a little bit of residual inertia while the brakes work.
Right. I guess that's like, I mean, yeah, the timing must be weird because like everybody in there's always manual lever pulling to get people out of warp.
Oh god, yeah, it makes no sense.
No,
to me at all. Like I had that in.
You'd be off by a heartbeat, and you'd be like half a solar system further on.
My own little nitpick in like Star Trek Into Darkness, where they're warping back to Earth and then they get overtaken by the baddies, which is impossible in warp, and they get shot out of warp before they were intended. Oh no, where are we? We're about 300,000 kilometers from Earth. That's 1 light second.
Yeah.
When were you gonna hit the brakes?
Yes, exactly.
Your finger wasn't near the button. When were you planning to stop?
Yes. Absolutely.
And it's an amazing shot.
Yeah.
You've got this debris field, you've got this gigantic sarcophagus ship, you've got all these really, really different wild designs for Klingon ships. We've never
it's
seen
not
before.
like there's a whole fleet of similar cruisers which appear.
Yeah.
There's one that looks kind of like it might be a predecessor of the Mark IV or whatever it's called.
D4?
D7? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But they look very different.
You.
And that's the episode. Well, that's the first episode. This is part of the two-parter.
Well, okay, it's not officially a two-parter.
Oh, it's one single. It's a double. It's a double part.
It's two episodes that are serially connected. But like, this was the Vulcan Hello, and the next episode is the Battle of Binary Stars. They're not officially. Right. This is the first Star Trek series that doesn't officially start with a feature length opener, even one split over two. They are officially 2 different episodes, and they're not even the premiere. That one is Context for Kings. These are the prologue.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh,
ooh. Damn.
Yeah,
that was something.
I was so glad that the streaming strategy that CBS used at the time, that followed it up with Battle at Binary Stars, because this is quite a cliffhanger to leave us on. We've had a failed mutiny, which is later revealed to be the first in Starfleet history.
Oh, ooh, wow.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I guess it's mutiny. It's, yeah.
Yeah. She disabled her captain, gave orders as if she was in command.
Yeah, I guess that counts as mutiny, yes.
Having never...
It definitely counts as insubordination.
Yeah. And now they're completely outmatched.
So,
Actually, wait. One last thing.
Yeah?
Oh, maybe it's almost like part of the deleted scenes. What do you think would have happened if Burnham got her way?
Oh, the shooting had started.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's very interesting. I mean, then the Battle of the Binary Stars probably would have started 10 minutes earlier.
Would it?
I mean, we would have found a severely damaged Klingon ship just as the other Klingons arrive.
Yeah.
They would probably start shooting.
But then there were also, like, if they got real lucky, they could have killed T'Kuvma. And then there would have been no Messiah to whip the other Klingons up into a frenzy.
But there would have been a damaged Klingon ship, which would have probably gone a long way in doing that on its own.
Or, I guess we only have to split this year's taxes 23 ways now.
Well,
Thanks.
yeah, there's that. It depends on how they feel about it.
Because they've been in disarray. Oh, sorry.
Okay,
I know we've ended the episode, but...
Yeah,
okay.
My pad is like starting to run into deep discharge mode.
Oh dear. Okay, we can't have that.
I'm rapidly running out of power here. I'm down to 10%. Normally we end this episode at somewhere in the mid-60s on my pad. But yeah. So, what do you think was?
So fucking cool.
All of it.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Klingon designs, the set designs, like there's just no limitation. Sonika Martin Green, all the actors and the writing, like it's just fucking spectacular. I was so excited. I love the visual look of it. Everything feels so fresh and new, and even like now, 8 years later, coming back to it. This may be my favorite Star Trek episode, and it's impossible to have a favorite, right? In the way that you can't have a favorite child. Turns out you can't have favorite nieces and nephews, which I totally do.
You can't? Or you can?
You can.
Yeah, of course. That's fair. You're allowed to play favorites a little bit, I guess.
I love how it looks. God, everyone who worked on this did such an amazing job, and I was so... Like, you could have done half as much as a sort of production team, and still, like, you might have been closer to the production values that people were expecting, right? And the writer that people were expecting from, like, a new Enterprise or Voyager or whatever. But no, the decision to go big and bold, I'm so grateful for this to exist. And I know it's not for everyone, but it definitely is for me. How about you?
Oh, let's see. I think I'm going to have to go with the EVA suit scene.
Oh, cool.
I loved that, like, especially the lead into it, the whole... up until the launch, and after that it's just her floating around the Klingon ship, which is fine.
Yeah. But, I know what you mean, but I like that you get a sense of, okay, Starfleet is an organization and there are jobs, and like, this is work that we're doing.
Which leaves us, I think we have to, you already mentioned
Wait, no, what's yours?
Oh, I just said, the EVA scene.
Oh, the EVA scene. Well, what was so great about it? Okay,
I just loved it. It looked fucking cool. Like you said, it's like it had a purpose. There was a little transition going. It's not just suddenly we're outside in suit. There's a little bit of a transition going. You know how
opportunity for people to showing Starfleet officers at their best.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. This is how that ship
showing
works.
transitions between, like, events and scenes, and like showing that there's actually time in between things happening, and it's not immediately afterwards. So. Deleted scenes. You already managed them, because we always try to think about what could have been filmed and is left on the cutting room floor.
Captain's log, supplemental.
How about you go first? Because I've seen you've got notes.
So we get that scene where the Klingons are having a talk about who's going to be the next one.
Oh, yes, the next torchbearer.
We cut back to the Shenzhou. Thank you.
Shenzhou. Yeah.
And then it's like back when it's back to the Klingons next time, they're having an argument over who's going to be the third torchbearer, because like there's dead folk on the ground who's like, there's been a challenge. Like, here, this is my father's bat'leth, and it gets jabbed into his gut. Like, So who will be the third torchbearer?
Okay, that actually reminds me, I had an idea for a deleted scene that I sort of rejected because it's so culturally sensitive. And it's a version where, yes, also, T'Kuvma does not want Voq as his torchbearer because he's a huge racist. And, like, he lets Voq hold his hand in the fire, and then they all just wait. And they just wait, and, like, the scent of, like, barbecued Klingon meat is and they sort of are, and Voq's like, are you ready for this? Until eventually it's just a stump and a cinder. And you go, yeah, sorry, torchbearers need two hands, so that's you out. Sorry. Hey, I would have wanted you because you're like so devoted, but it's a two-handed job, so
yeah. Like he recognizes a zealot, and nothing is more dangerous to a cult leader than an actual believer.
Oh dear.
Like, this is competition. Like, nope.
Now I'm reminded. Okay, no, actually, I want to do a paraphrase particular office scene where T'Kuvma is realizing that the brother of the torchbearer is not the only one who has his doubts, and he needs to cool everyone down a little bit and assure them that things are going to be okay. We're not all going to die by ritual sacrifice, right? And he points at everyone, you're not going to die of ritual sacrifice. You're not going to die of ritual sacrifice. And he skips Voq, and the next one, you're not going to die of ritual sacrifice.
And Voq's like, what about me? What about me? What about, hey. Did you forget me? It's like, no, I'm not.
Oh, my God. Oh, thank you, Advik Goel, for this recommendation, and also your perspective on, like, the Vulcan versus Klingon social norms and how they're really quite different from what we're used to from the Federation. And also, just the hardcoreness of the Vulcan hello. Yeah, that's really powerful.
I've been saying that, like, the traditional hello firing across the bow is. They have a different concept of what an honorary salute is.
Yeah.
I mean, traditionally it is to show that your guns are empty. It's like now. Well, yes. I mean, like, we fired them off. It's like they're a bitch to unload, and like, because your initial broadside is worth a lot because those guns have been like properly cleaned and very well. Everything's weighed off and measured, and everything's been packed correctly. So your initial broadside is much more accurate than any following ones.
That's right.
So there's therefore that's showing a measure of trust in we're here with empty guns. And the Klingons is just like, why waste good ammo? You might as well, like, give him a little ribbing while we're at it.
You put on your armor. You want to make use of it.
Yes. So.
It's only polite.
And if you would like to leave a recommendation of your own, you can go to joyoftrek.com/links, where there is a web page which will allow you to tell us about an episode that you like more than everybody else, or just one that holds personal interest to you.
Yep. Like, we have a track record for finding lesser loved episodes and giving them the old
polish. A little bit of our thing.
But, like, everybody has their own sort of perspective, and I really enjoy this. Like, Advik Goel's recommendation this time around, like, that is actually a really interesting way to view this episode. And it's also entirely possible here, I'm just like thinking about this now, that there could be widely beloved episodes that a particular listener just didn't really clock into, but found a way toward. And that would also be a good point.
Yes. And there you will also find a link to our Patreon page, where if you can find it in your heart and in your wallet to help keep the lights on here at Joy of Trek Studios, it would be much appreciated if you joined the ranks of the lemon-stealing whores.
Big shout out to our lemon-stealing whores. Thank you so much for the, by now, years of support you've shown us.
Oh, yes.
We hope you enjoy the monthly bonus episods.
This is year 2, isn't it? We just about went into year.
How even does time work?
Yeah.
I never have any idea.
We passed episode 100, so we're probably well in the start of
we?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Didn't we not? Yeah. So anyway, speaking of episodes.
Yes.
We're going to find out what is going to happen
next time on an all-new episode of Star Trek.
By hopefully guessing which episode has been lined up for us by the Chief.
Okay, now, the Chief did do the grin emoji and said that he'd been scheming.
Okay.
And, I mean, I hope that this means we're going to do the Battle of the Binary Stars, but he did do that grin emoji a lot. So,
oh, no.
Because I really want to do the Battle of Binary Stars now.
Let's see what we can do. Let's fire it up.
Okay, first clue incoming.
Many myths are based on truth, Captain.
Many myths? I don't recognize that
data
from... It might not be Battle of Binary Stars. Oh, what's the next one?
Captain, I just had to give one of the barefooted what-do-you-call-ems the boot out of here. She came in bold as brass and tried to incite my crew to disaffect.
What the fuck is this?
That sounds like original.
That sounds like Scotty. He's doing the voice too. I'm listening.
But it's talking about My Crew.
Oh yeah, My Crew.
Yeah.
What is that?
My Crew. That's Prodigy.
With a Scottish
I
accent?
don't know.
No.
He's always talking about, but that like My Crew is always what they're.
Yeah, you're
that's
right.
A very Prodigy thing.
Dal RL.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, good call. Okay, so clue number 3.
You're young. Think young, brother.
What?
No.
What is this?
You're young, think young, brother. That's
Think young, brother.
Klingons, like how many brothers? We don't have a lot
Maybe.
of brothers. Yeah, Worf has a brother.
And Worf has an older brother.
Herbert.
Oh no!
Herbert.
Oh no!
Clearly, you know something.
Herbert. We can't possibly be doing that. It's an episode of the original series. I have never seen it, but I think it's the closest that Star Trek has ever brushed to an episode that's irredeemable before, like, a code of honor.
Okay.
Apparently. Okay. Another clue.
Stepping into Eden, yeah, brother. Stepping into Eden, yeah, brother.
Okay, I am so far out of my depth here.
I think it's called, like, In the Children Shall Lead or something, or In Plato's Step Shadow or whatever. And we're going to watch some fucking space hippies?
Okay, there we go.
The best part about this is that this was something that has been schemed about by my friend and I for almost a year now, Cocky, so you can't even say that this was some plan against you. The episode is TOS 320, The Way to Eden.
The Way to Eden, that's what it's
very
called.
late season 3, so almost towards the end of their original...
Deeply unbeloved
so
and contemporary commentary on hippies. And,
right up our alley, then.
Yeah. We're back, baby!
Lexi, that leaves us only with one thing left to do.
I'm leaving Starfleet.
Energize!
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode with your friends Kay and Kaki, production and editing by your chief engineer Greg, and music by Fox Amore. Join us next time for The Way to Eden TOS 320. Visit joyoftrek.com/links to send us recommendations, support us on Patreon, or to find us on Blue Sky. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for listening to The Joy of Trek, and we'll see you out there!